Problem is opportunity, because it means people need something. If there are no problem, you have nothing to solve. Therefore, you cannot even be a business. Somebody can waylay you on the road and take all your million. It will take you a short time and you become another millionaire again. Because now you know how to become a millionaire. But if you don't know how to become a millionaire, if you pick 1 million on the road, in a short space of time, it is gone.
Everybody can use AI in their business, but they don't know how or why. So trying to tell somebody they need AI is not a good way to start. What they need to do is solve a problem.
Let's say 2,000 years from now, those that will be looking at the AI we are talking about today will laugh that is the technology that we will use it then. This AI technology that we have today hasn't even gone anywhere compared to what we are capable of as humanity. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us in today's episode of the Obehi Podcast. I remain Obehi Ewanford, your host here in this podcast. In the Obehi Podcast, we love to talk about our story and where we are coming from, who we are, why are we doing what we are doing, because we believe that storytelling is the most powerful instrument that there is behind the metropolis that we build, is behind the world that we create, and it's also behind the peace that we make. It's basically everything and for everything. So that if you are in business, if you are a founder, it is important that you learn this most important and ancient form of human communication, which is storytelling. So today I have the honor of talking to a player in the field who is going to be sharing with us what he does and within also why is he doing what he's doing. So that is actually the joy that we have here, being able to bring in experts to share with you tips and strategy that you can also apply in your business, because nobody have it all. But if we are able to learn from also other people who are also in the field, then we're able to go places. Quintel, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure here to have you. Could you please tell the people who you are so we can just roll from there?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me, Obehi. My name is Quintel Harcum. I founded Green Book Digital, where I do AI consulting for small growth phase businesses so they can cut costs, save time, and scale up. Most of my work is around helping them capture and convert more leads, follow up, and reduce the weight and the stress that comes around communication with clients and things like that, so they can focus on what their services are. Prior to this, I founded Good Part Company, which is a plant-based health cafe located in Baltimore, Maryland. And within 9 months, I was able to scale it up and start a partnership with Johns Hopkins University, which is a world-renowned health institution. And I brought the first health cafe and juice bar to their campus. And so from Johns Hopkins, I started Green Book Digital because I got a lot of requests to help people with their marketing and also with their setup, like on the back end, when they learned everything I did for Johns Hopkins and building out my juice bar. So I saw an opportunity to help other entrepreneurs and founders build out better systems, better infrastructure, and use AI while they're doing it so things can be a lot easier and they can move a lot faster.
Thank you so much for that. We appreciate that. We love the idea that you have the mind to help other people. And that is what I think we do. That is what our life is about. Muhammad Ali put it perfectly well, that as the service to other, or our service to other, is the rent we paid here on earth. So every business that is built around that is definitely the one that we want to promote, because we need to help one another. We should help one another. All right. So Quintel, like I was saying before, we like to learn more about you because we were not there where you were born. And we certainly are not there where you are right now. I am in Italy, so you are in the US. Would you like to tell us a bit about your background? Where are you coming from?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, baby, shout out to you for that, because I got Muhammad Ali right here over my shoulder on my wall. So I know I definitely, you got to follow the greats, right? They lay the pet, they leave it all out there for you, right? So you just follow what they do, and hopefully you can, cover some ground. But for myself, I was born and raised here in Baltimore, Maryland. And from here, I went to Lincoln University, which is the first historically Black college and university in America. So Lincoln is in Pennsylvania. So I went away to school for 4 years, and I actually got a degree in philosophy. I don't know what I was thinking, but it was fun. I played sports in high school. I liked philosophy, and it came easy. It came natural. just reading the books, writing the papers, and things like that. But when I was in college, rather, that's when I got the bug for hustling and entrepreneurship. I started typing people's homework for a couple extra dollars. I was one of the first people on campus with my own computer in my room, so I didn't have to go to the computer lab. So I was typing homework. I was burning CDs, and that kind of made my room a hub. And me and my roommate, we both were from Baltimore. We started selling T-shirts and potato chips. We did a whole bunch of other stuff going. We had little video game tournaments. So we started hustling and just making extra money. We had work study. So at Lincoln, I learned a lot about entrepreneurship, networking, and, getting out of my shell, because I came up in Baltimore. So Lincoln University taught me a lot about that. From Lincoln, right after Lincoln is when I started my first official business, because at Lincoln there were groups of students. They allowed to have different parties, so you didn't have to be a fraternity or a sorority. You could be a chapter, or what they call it, and they would let you have like an organized group. And these guys were throwing parties in Philly, but they brought those parties to the campus and had like a smaller little setup, and it was fun. And I was like, we can do the same thing in Baltimore. So I talked to my friends, and then in 2004. We started our first business doing nightlife promotion and helping other clubs bring crowds to their clubs for happy hours and things like that. And it was a really big deal. So mid 2000s to the late 2000s, this is when like VIP, right before bottle popping and all that type of stuff became a thing. And right before social media, we were doing parties, and it was really successful. So that helped me learn a lot about doing business, doing deals, negotiating, having partners and things like that. So I always... And then the influence of hip hop, like all of that really made me want to be an entrepreneur and just like own my own things and have my own things. After that, that lasted until 2010. And during that time, I also landed my first career position from college, which is as a government analyst for the government. So I worked for the government for 14 years. I had that first business. And then once that closed down, I just focused on my job with the government. And I had a couple other side projects, but eventually I felt like the government thing was not really for me. I was in a cubicle all day. It was secure to a certain degree. Right now we can see how it's not so secure here in America. But anyway, I got back into making an exit plan. I was like, I need to get back into business.
What do you mean is not so secure now in the United States? Could you expand more on that?
Yeah, sure. So I grew up in Baltimore, which is close to Washington, D.C. So there are a lot of federal and government agencies around this part of America. So everybody's goal, I won't say everybody, but growing up and getting a job with the government, and the government where I was, which is Social Security, was like a guaranteed job for the rest of your life. And then earlier this year, we had the administration cut a lot of government jobs. And then right now, currently, as we're speaking, we're going through a government shutdown. I went through 3 government shutdowns during my career as a government employee, as an analyst. So I started to understand like, oh, this is not as safe as everybody thinks it is. So I need to bet on myself, and I need to make sure I can just do business and make things happen, even if this government thing doesn't take me for the rest of my life. And on top of that, it just wasn't that fun. So yeah, and I just like